Let us start with the most sought after information. Console version. This is the only direct footage that I'm aware of for Alpha 22, meaning it wasn't recorded off of a screen with a phone camera. And as of right now, this will be called 7 Days to Die Apocalypse Edition. So here we have a small section of the map rendered just for the purpose of this demo. And at the bottom right of the screen, very tiny words saying trial version. Right there is the... I don't know, I don't play on console and I haven't plugged in a controller for the game. This is the inspect button layout. Take a look. I don't know if it's any different. Now, the number one thing for me, with zombies being my favorite genre, the most important thing is the new zombie look. Now, I was disappointed to find out that we were only getting recolors. I was hoping it would have been more. Then I saw this footage, and to me, I think it's gonna work. Like, I'm excited for this. Now you can see right here, this is, as a zombie fan, this is cool for me. Marlene, which is the name of this zombie, typically has flesh tone skin in the game right now. But here she has the classic gray dead skin look. And honestly, I think it looks great. I think this is going to be very effective. See, Xbox achievement has been unlocked. Now here's something interesting. The Party Girl zombie not only has just a recolor of her clothes and her skin, but they added highlights to her hair. Now that might not be a big deal to most people, but to me that's a nice subtle detail that's gonna separate this version of Party Girl from the normal blonde hair, black dress version of Party Girl. I like that a lot. Now here we have the businessman showing up with his normal look and his new look. The suit looks good, but I think it would be cool if they would give him different colored hair too. That would help, but I don't know if we're gonna get that. Now that's pretty much it for the footage of Alpha 22 on the Xbox Series X. Now this again was a very small section of a map generated just for the purpose of this demo. Not every feature that will be in Alpha 22 is in here. Look at Marlene. Look at the so you know what? We might actually get variety in hair in the businessman because there's two blonde Marlenes. These I think are the same model, and then that's what we saw earlier with the typical skin. We got a couple of variations in skin. Yeah, I think these two are the same. Okay, these two right here are the same. So there's only three, and there we got it. I think I'm going to be very happy with this. Now, let us see what we have here. Now, what's interesting, you're going to get, like, the nurse is not just a nurse anymore. So you're going to have a nurse, and this is actually going to work, because not only are they changing the colors, but they're adding different clothing. So you have the nurse over here, and then you have just a woman with the nurse's model wearing a shirt and pants. I think this is going to work out great. I like the businessman, different colors, brown and gray. I think this is Joe. This is going to work out wonderfully. I'm very excited for this. The different color hazmat suits for Hazmat Man. And then here's another example of them changing the outfits. So you have Big Fat Bowler Man, who is typically the disturbed tourist or fat Hawaiian, and he pooped his pants. He pooped his pants so hard he blew his pocket out. Here's the new Gore, and I think this looks great. Like, now he's got the dangling Marlene eye. You bash him in the face enough, you'll pop his eye out like this. That's disgusting. And he has more little bits. I don't know what that is on top. It looks like I don't know what that is, but you know, his hands, you got sections of his leg. It's great. It's fantastic. Look, he's a hand, his tootsies. And here you see it, 7 Days to Die, Apocalypse Edition. On PlayStation and Xbox. Now, it will not be on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One because this version of 7 Days to Die is just going to be too powerful for those older consoles to run. So the Fun Pimps will be at PAX East, which will be from March 21st to March 24th, 2024. So we are going to get some more news then. When you're playing the game right now, what happens is that everything in a building is being rendered. So what the Fun Pimps are going to do for Alpha 22 is no longer render the interior of the buildings until you get close enough to them. Now, the way that they're going to hide that is to basically fog out the windows when you're far enough away, so you don't notice that the interior doesn't exist. And then as you get close, it'll render the interior of the building and the opacity of the window will go away. So you can see into the window. When you move away, all that stuff disappears. Overall optimization will increase by 5%, and optimization in big cities or complicated areas will be more than 5%. They didn't give a specific number. Now, 5% can be a noticeable change. So it might sound like a small number, but it can make a big difference. Next up is the armor system. The speculation around this is that all individual pieces of armor and clothing are going to be removed, and they're going to be replaced with sets of armor. And each set of armor is going to be specific to a different attribute. So like a set of armor that's more suitable for mining. So I don't know how that's going to work. Like they have to change your clothes to go digging, which is, I guess, what you would do in real life. I would probably just go in basketball shorts and a t-shirt, but I'd probably end up f***ing up my knees, scratching up my calves. But farming, I'd probably do that in my underwear. It might be interesting. It might be frustrating. I don't know. But that is the speculation as of right now. There is no official word on how that is going to work. Here is a work in progress shot of just a few of the new player characters variants and armor clothing sets coming to Alpha 22 and console. Stay tuned. New player Marauder armor is coming soon to Alpha 22 and consoles. Great work by character artist The Browell. Stay tuned, folks. I like it. I would be comfortable wearing that if I was involved in a zombie apocalypse in real life. And here is, forgive the quality of this picture, this is taken off of Twitter, the new character models. You can see, even in this poor quality picture, the detail in the face is better than what it is now. But I don't know if this is exactly what it's going to look like in the game. I can't imagine it won't. Personally, this is a first-person game. I can't see my character. And I'll be quite honest with you. I'm closing in on 1,000 hours in 7 Days to Die. And I still don't know how to change my character because I just haven't cared enough to do it. But we're having, this looks good. Like the quality looks good. I know this guy. I can't tell if that's an actor or Kurt Angle. And what's good about this is that not only do they show us the models in a perfect scenario, in perfect conditions, they show us what the models are going to look like in game. And that looks really good. I'm hoping that this is what it's going to look like. But like I play with other people, so I will see their faces. I don't care what my face looks like, but I care what my teammate's face looks like. Vehicles will be updated as well. And from what it looks like, you can upgrade existing vehicles. Now, you can do that now with superchargers for the motorcycle and the 4x4. So what you can see here is that the bicycle, you'll be able to upgrade it with armor, but it looks like there is a little basket in the back, so you can upgrade the inventory of a bicycle. Now, a lot of people were bothered by how easy it is to damage a vehicle by crashing into a zombie. So it looks like maybe they implemented that early because they knew they were going to add the armor system for vehicles. So without the armor system, you're going to damage your vehicles easily. But you add the little trash can bits to your bicycle, and now you can run over zombies and not damage your bike as much. You can see here the 4x4 is looking like a monster truck, but they added like a snowplow. This will be the supercharger. This will be the expanded gas tank. This will be the expanded inventory, kind of like how the drone has an expanded inventory. And then this is the new mini bike, which I think is cool. It looks like, it's silly with a toilet, but me and toilet humor. I like it. I think it's cute. This is the new motorcycle, and this looks pretty friggin' badass to me. if you're asking me. Like, that's some nasty looking shite. I like this. I like this one with the animal skull in front. I think this looks really good. And you have different paint jobs, which is cool, which is what you can paint things in the game now. I like it. And that's, oh, and this is a lawn chair as the seat. That looks like the upgraded version of the mini bike. I think this looks great. This looks really good. They did a really good job with these. So I like this a lot. I think this is fantastic. Tutorial challenge. Oh, I didn't notice that. Open challenges window. What does that mean? Is that in the game? I don't know if I've ever noticed that before. Is that new? Tutorial challenge? Yeah, this looks really cool. Like, look at all that detail. I like the makeshift look. I like this concept of what a zombie apocalypse would be in real life. You know, they strapped together some shite with some other shite. Like, clearly this was not machined. Very nice. Very nice. Big fan. And we have new animals. So there's a pig with buttocks and teats. Now, people seem to think that this is going to replace the hog. I don't know. There's no word on that. I'm assuming that this is going to be like a chicken or a rabbit. This is not going to fight you like the hog. You're just going to beat it senseless and cut it up like a chicken. This is food. They have updated Grace. Now, this I think is great. I think updating Grace is great because what Grace was just a blown up version of a hog model. And, you know, it's whatever. But this nasty looking son of a bitch, I can't wait to get killed by this thing. Now, here's an interesting one. So they updated the fur on the animals. The deer looks good. The bear looks good, I guess. I don't know. This is something that I'm going to have to experience in the game. But this doesn't seem like that big of a deal to me. No offense. They've added new POIs. Like, this one looks cool. Like, this one with the pool and the body bags in the pool. Like, you're telling a story here. And I like that. So I'm excited for this, whatever this is. I guess it's a hotel. And they use the pool to store infected dead. I think that's great. Now, I don't know what this is again. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. This is a Tier 4 army camp. The location supports clear, fetch, restore power, and infestation quests. Great work by Earl. All right. Look at that beautiful sun. One thing I say, the lighting in the game is beautiful. All right, let's take a look at this. From what I'm seeing is that this will not be in the middle of just a grass field. This should be pushed up against a mountain. I like it. Well, we're obviously going underground here. Oh, cool. They vary it for the terrain. Very nice. I'm excited. Again, push that up against a mountain so it doesn't feel weird. Oh, that's very cool. Great work by Hernan on these. The new POIs. Got a new little coffee shop layout thing here. A little center. A little coffee shop center. Mall thing. Outdoor mall. This is the new Tier 5 Grover High POI. Say that 3 times fast. Tier 5 Grover High POI. I guess that's not so bad. Now we also have campsite tents coming to Alpha 22. Reminds me of Friday the 13th, the game. Now, can we pull people out of them and slam them into the tree? In Alpha 22, according to Lazman, who is a quality assurance member of the Fun Pimps, in Alpha 22, road paint has a new property on it that allows players to replace another block over it so you will no longer have to destroy it first. New recycling can and cardboard pallets come into Alpha 22 and consoles. Great work by Hung. Not bad. You know what? I want to say that a lot of these things will go unnoticed, but I do notice this shit. I will notice this shit. There are the little details that always catch my attention. And it does. It gives a little boost to the experience. It is helpful. Now here is, again, I apologize. I wish I could make this video footage look better. I mean, I guess I can upscale it. Watch on Twitter. Okay. Maybe it looks better on the twit. These are the new particle effects. That looks really good to me. That smoke looks real. This is what's great about this is it is in game. Oh, this is sped up. I was just like, this guy's going crazy with his mouse. Okay. That's interesting. I wonder why they sped it up. Now, the other big thing is Bandits. They've been trying to work Bandits into the game since, I think, Alpha 15. It was, inoperable Bandit models were in the game. I don't know if they're still in the game. I haven't checked, but you could spawn inoperative models of Bandits in previous versions of the game. Bandits will not be coming to Alpha 22. According to the Fun Pimps, they want to make sure that Bandits function as close to perfect as they can get it. And right now they're not working up to their standards. And I'm completely fine with that. I have seen what it looks like when modders put human NPCs into the game or bandit type NPCs in the game, and it just does not look appealing to me. It looks unfinished, and I'd rather have something closer to finished than a poor quality experience. So I'm not upset if bandits aren't coming. I'm still quite entertained just fighting zombies. Though I do want bandits. I think that'll be a very, very cool addition. But now we have an expanded lore situation. So here we have the Naviskane Inquirer from Wednesday, December 5th, 2033. Unusual 10-page special meteorology experts on unusual red moon phenomenon. Virus decimates America. Obviously, highly populated areas like the East Coast will be destroyed. So they went first. As the world sits in fear, landmark reports say U.S. healthcare on the verge of collapse. And with no cure in sight, many fear Arizona will be next. Cuba's gone. Pretty much all of Florida is gone. All of New York is gone. All the major cities are gone. The murder mitten up there, Michigan, gone. Here's the thing. If you are in fear of a zombie apocalypse, I would move to Wyoming. There are very few people in Wyoming. It's a gigantic landmass, and there's a lot of hunters out there. So guns will be plenty. Hopefully you don't get shot. They let you in. It would probably be the safest place to go. Naviskane officials Tuesday hosted a press conference as tensions rise within our community on whether quarantine procedures have been enough. Mayor Louis Wagner, now remember that name, dismissed growing concerns, stating that the 47 documented cases are isolated incidences. So by December 5th, they only had 47 cases in Naviskane. Our administration does not underestimate the virus lightly. Interesting. So they underestimate it heavily. They could have been maybe proofread a little bit better. But we believe our quarantine procedures have been sufficient. The mayor's comments were not enough to dissuade growing rumors about martial law. Nearly 5 million dead from the septdiurnal computer. How do you say that word?
Septdiurnal.
Septdiurnal. One more time?
Septdiurnal.
Nearly 5 million dead from the septdiurnal virus, SDV, in over 39 states, with the United States government enacting strict quarantine protocols across the country. The country is gripped in fear, in an unfolding crisis that continues to grip the nation. The United States government is grappling with the relentless septdiurnal epidemic, a viral menace that has taken a toll on both public health and the collective psyche of its citizens. Despite initial efforts to curb its spread, the government faces widespread dissatisfaction as the epidemic evolves, leading to mounting casualties and growing unrest. The epidemic, categorized by its 7-day cycle of heightened contagion, has exposed the vulnerabilities in the United States healthcare infrastructure. Reports of infected individuals experiencing severe symptoms, overwhelmed medical facilities, and a rising death toll has left the public frustrated and disheartened. In a somber press conference held at the White House, Brian Wagner, remember that last name, Wagner, the beleaguered Minister of Health, reluctantly acknowledged the government's struggle to contain the epidemic. We understand the concerns of our citizens, and we are working tirelessly to find a solution. However, the The complexity of the septdiurnal virus poses unprecedented challenges, Minister Wagner admitted. The government's response has been marred by dun dun dun. Now, so far, over here, it said that the mayor of Naviskane, his name is Louis Wagner. The Minister of Health in the White House for the United States government is Brian Wagner. Okay, we got a little nepotism going. So here we have a familiar face. This is Duke H. Casadore. Now, hold on. Let's see. Computer, how would you pronounce that last name?
Casadore.
Casadore. All right. I thought he was Italian. Duke H. Casadore. I think that says 43? Maybe he's 43 years old. Proprietor and owner of the Casadore Casino, photo taken outside of modest mansion home in Naviskane. The Duke says, "This represents a terrible danger for Naviskane. We need to close our borders now, not tomorrow, now." The illustrious, holy moly, this is blurry. I think that says illustrious or mysterious. The illustrious community leader, as always, Duke Casadore, has made his voice known on the growing pandemic. In comments made to the mayor during a community outreach event, Duke Casadore insisted that it was imperative to close our borders immediately to prevent further contamination. "You overpaid fools do not see the writing on the wall. Our country," I'm having difficulty reading, it's very blurry. "Our country is falling. The world is failing to adjust, and it is imperative we act last." It is imperative we act last? I don't know. "My casino will not fall, and I personally will not tolerate the destruction of this safe Eden, even if you insist on careless inaction." The Duke laying it down. Duke Casadore raised eyebrows and rolled eyes in several community members. The Duke is paranoid and delusional. America will survive. It always has. I don't know who said that. So there we go. That is December 5th, 2033. Now we're going to the this was what? The Naviskane Inquirer. That's the tabloid. This seems like this is like the New York Times of Naviskane. This is the serious paper. Your number one source for all news in the Naviskane, Arizona area. Copyright 1970. This is January 15th. This is the next year. This is over a month later. Nuclear detonation. So now we know why the wasteland looks like the wasteland. It's obvious. I mean, what else would it have been? That's a trope in zombie movies. If you can't fix it, destroy it. May God forgive us. President orders nuclear launch in desperate attempt to contain the virus. Millions dead. The death toll for now it's the epidiurnal. It went from the septdiurnal to the epidiurnal virus. EDV has become immeasurable. The death toll has become immeasurable, previously estimated to be in the 100 millions, as governments across the world find themselves unable to effectively contain the virus. Madagascar has gone dark and completely closed its borders. I think that's in reference to something else, either a game or a movie or something, or maybe a book. Madagascar has gone dark and completely closed its borders, and much of Eastern Europe has fallen. Healthcare facilities in America are overwhelmed, and the infected roam the streets of many major urban centers. Many are calling it the end times, citing religious scripture as evidence of our inevitable downfall. That always happens. And with our government failing to adequately stop the virus, many have started to question if the apocalypse really is upon us. Indeed, with recent reports starting that the CDC is falling. Okay, let's rewrite that. With recent reports stating that the CDC has fallen and has no qualified personnel left to research a cure, it seems that the world is forced to reckon with the reality that we have created. Now, that's interesting. Well, is it saying we created? Where does it say that we created the virus? Oh, it is unclear where and how the virus originated, and despite citizen demands for an explanation, none has been provided by our government or others. Now, remember who the mayor of Naviskane was. It is under this horrendous situation that last weekend President Louis Wagner, this guy went from the mayor of Navascane, Arizona in 1 month to the president of the United States in the next month. That guy knows how to climb the ladder. President Louis Wagner enacted emergency protocol launching nuclear weapons on our own soil into major cities in an attempt to curb the virus spreading. This is not a measure our government takes lightly, President Wagner stated. Yet, we deem it wholly necessary in the dangerous times we live in. May God forgive us. The United States government assures the public that all alive, innocent people were evacuated safely, but experts say that claim is impossible to verify in the wake of such devastation. This was not their intention. Martial law has been declared in many places in the country, and in our own state, Arizona, similar measures have... Okay, that felt weird. And in our own state, I guess of Arizona, martial law has been declared in many places in the country, and in our own state of Arizona, similar measures have been taken. Many are moving to isolated mountain communities, with Navascane housing a variety of survivors from other communities. Some members of our community are vocally unhappy about this, such as Duke Casadore, who insists that policies ... growing unrest amid origins of virus still unclear, no. Military struggles to hold back infected men and women in our armed forces may be strong, but the growing fear that our human capabilities are far exceeded by the infected. This is especially exacerbated. I don't like that word. This is especially exacerbated on the well-known seventh day phenomenon, in which infected individuals become stronger than should be. So it looks like this paper's covered in blood. Weather's on page 5, stocks page 6, jobs listings on page 7, comics on page 8, crossword page 12. See, I would see this paper and go straight to page 8. I would say that this is official lore. This is official 7 Days to Die lore. And so there you go. But this is what the casino looks like. This is Duke's Casino and Noah's compound. Noah is the guy that gives you the note in the beginning of the game. He's the one that found you and he gave you that can of chili. So there you have it. But when is it coming out? People have been asking on Twitter X, but have the fun pimps been answering? So someone says, I'm guessing December 2024, right? And official 7 Days to Die said sooner. So between now and the end of November 2024. Love it, but when this year? Sooner. Whoops. So that means it's coming out last year? Do I need to go into a time machine and secure myself a copy of Alpha 22? Well, I went all the way back to 1967. I could not find Alpha 22. So it must be at the very least this year, 2024. Is it close to being released mid-2024? We know you have all been waiting a long time to get a new console version in your hands, but we are working very hard. We are working very hard on... Oh, sorry, whoops. We are working very hard on it to get it a great... Let's rewrite that. We are working very hard on it to get it a great build out as soon... Oh, okay. But we are working very hard on it to get it a great build out as soon as we can this year. So that's all we got. It'll be out sooner. Big credit has to go out to Adam the Waster over at the 7 Days to Die official forums. He's another 7 Days to Die lunatic such as myself, but he's been at it much longer. When he goes to Looters Anonymous, his recovery is going to be twice as difficult as mine. He put together the most comprehensive list of information about Alpha 22. He calls it the Alpha 22 Fan Diary, where you see all the information. And this is updated by the minute. The minute something comes out, he adds it. So he also has a speculative section on stuff that is not being added to the game for Alpha 22, stuff that will be added in Alpha 23 or the official 1.0 gold release version of the game when it's out of alpha, out of alpha, and content locked, which is where you will get true optimization. When something is content locked, when core features are locked in Now, something being content locked doesn't mean that you can't add more stuff to the game. It just means that the core functionality and features of the game are locked. And once that happens, then they can do real deal heavy duty optimization, as well as adding new features and new character models and new whatever. So yes, Adam the Waster. Big credit goes to Adam the Waster and also Guns, Nerds, and Steel for the video displaying the performance boost, as well as other information that Adam the Waster has gotten. And there you have it. That is everything known about Alpha 22, the latest news, all in one. Watch this video and watch that video. Take care, brush your hair.